Here's Black lesbian Karine Jean Pierre, who is the White House press secretary, being asked if she's worried that there's some distance between the party, the Democratic Party, their messaging on what's going on with the economy and what's actually happening.
Well, an administration certainly has the opportunity to celebrate achievements like legislation. Is there any concern that there's a dissonance between the current economic moment and the kind of celebration you'll have this afternoon on the South Lawn about the Inflation Reduction Act, when today's figures show that inflation is still a great concern, when we've talked about the Amtrak situation and so forth? Is there a disconnect there?
So I think if we look at the picture more broadly about what this means, because we have to remember the Inflation Reduction Act is historic. If you think about how electeds like the president and Democrats on Congress, other Democrats for decades, have been trying to fight Big Pharma, have taken that to head for the last few decades to make sure that Medicare, that our seniors are able to not pay thousands of dollars a month. And that is a huge historic win for the American people. It's not about us celebrating, it's about the win for the American. And that's what you've seen. When you see costs that are going to come down for our seniors, when you see costs that are going to come down for American families, as I just listed out for energy costs, are going to come down.
Guys, it doesn't really matter what's happening. This is historic what we're doing here. It doesn't matter if the Inflation Reduction Act actually increased inflation. We're doing something historic, guys. And also it says reduction in the title of the thing. It's the Inflation Reduction Act. Do I have to explain? Do we have to carry the one for you people? Oh, God. Anyway, all this being said, I really, one of the things that I really want to focus on and that I thought about a lot in August when I was off the grid is I don't want to have blind spots on these things. And I don't want to be in an echo chamber myself, and I don't want you guys to be in an echo chamber. And I know that that's extremely difficult these days. It really is. When one side is calling you fascists and bigots and Nazis, it's hard to kind of keep reaching out to them. It makes it very difficult. So I tweeted out something this morning because I really believe this. I would love to find some Biden supporters, true Biden supporters, to have on the show, because we are told he got 81 million votes. So there's got to be a whole bunch of people out there who really support this guy. So here's my tweet from this morning, and it got a bunch of traction, and I will keep checking the responses throughout the day. I said, I'd love to have an avid Biden supporter on the show, someone who truly believes Joe Biden is mentally fit and healthy, that his policies on economy, COVID, immigration, etc. are sound, and that he's moving America in the right direction. Is there anyone? So I saw there's already a couple hundred responses that on a quick glance, I couldn't really come up with anybody. I don't see anyone jumping at it like a verified account that's really saying it. Now, we know that there are certain media types that support him, and they're a Democrat, just kind of Democrat operatives. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about like sort of regular people. I don't mean like just the average Joe on the street, but I'm talking about people who know something about politics, who really think this thing is working. Is there an economist who really thinks this is working? Is there anyone that really wants to defend him on the COVID policies and the mandates and all of these things? Is there anyone who really wants to go on the record and say that they don't think there's anything wrong with the guy? I'm willing to have this conversation. I truly, truly am.